In March 1918, a 19,000-ton Navy ship vanished with 306 people aboard without sending a single distress signal. No wreckage, no debris, no survivors. To this day, no one can agree on why. This is the USS Cyclops, and what happened to her is still the US Navy's largest unexplained loss of life outside of combat. Before we get to the theories, and there are several, you need to understand exactly what she was carrying and why that detail still troubles investigators. Cyclops was built in 1910, a steel-hulled Navy collier, a cargo ship designed to haul fuel and raw materials across the Atlantic. In early 1918, she loaded roughly 10,800 tons of manganese ore in Brazil, a mineral critical to wartime steel production. Her final stop was Barbados on March 3, 1918. From there, she was due in Baltimore. She never arrived. 306 people were aboard, sailors, officers, and civilian passengers. Every one of them disappeared with the ship. And here's the first detail that should bother you. Cyclops was sailing with one engine already damaged. Her commanding officer was Lieutenant Commander George Worley, a man whose own crew, by multiple accounts, didn't fully trust him. So why send a ship with a compromised engine into the open ocean during wartime? That question opens the first real thread of this case. Worley had a documented reputation for erratic decisions, and, unverified at the time, rumors of German heritage that made some crew uneasy in 1918. On March 4th, Cyclops sent a routine position report. It was the last anyone ever heard from her. When she failed to reach Baltimore, the Navy launched one of the largest search efforts of the war. They found nothing, not one plank of wreckage. As for the damaged engine, records. But here's something investigators didn't emphasize enough at the time. Manganese ore is dense, unstable cargo, and it may have been loaded wrong. If that ore shifted in rough seas, it could capsize a ship in minutes, long before any crew member reached a radio. No storm strong enough was ever officially logged in the region that week. So if it wasn't the weather alone, something else has to explain a silent sinking. And that's the part that still unsettles searchers today. Over a century of expeditions, and the wreck has never once been located. Not fragments, not debris fields, nothing. For a ship that size, that absence is itself a piece of evidence. It gets stranger. Cyclops had two sister ships, Proteus and Nereus. Years later, both vanished on the exact same shipping route. Same design, same cargo type, same corridor of ocean. No war, no storm reported either time. Just gone. That's not a coincidence enough to prove anything, but it's enough to make you ask whether this route, or this ship class, hid a structural flaw no one caught. Naval engineers have since noted the collier design may have been vulnerable to exactly this kind of cargo shift failure. But structural failure isn't the only theory on the table. In wartime, there was a far more sinister possibility. For decades, a rumor persisted. A German U-boat commander had privately claimed responsibility for sinking Cyclops. If true, that would finally close the case. A wartime kill, simple, explained, except German naval records from that period show no U-boat operating anywhere near that stretch of the Atlantic in March 1918. The claim doesn't hold up. There was no confirmed enemy contact. That resolution, the one everyone wanted, quietly falls apart. The US Navy's own official inquiry, conducted that same year, reached the same dead end. So the German capture theory, The one theory that felt like an answer was reopened, and it was never proven, which leaves three competing explanations: storm, structural failure, enemy action, and not one piece of confirmed evidence for any of them. So by this point, we know Cyclops sailed with a damaged engine, unstable cargo, and a commander no one fully trusted. But one question still didn't make sense. How does a ship that size disappear so completely that not even her sister ship's later losses could explain it? That question is exactly where the trail runs cold, where the official record simply stops. No black box, no sonar hit in over 100 years of searching, just an ocean that gave nothing back. Ask yourself, if a ship this size can vanish without a trace in 1918, what does that tell you about how much of the ocean we still don't actually control? It's a question modern search technology still hasn't fully answered. Multiple expeditions since the 1970s have searched the presumed route. None have found the wreck.
The Atlantic in that region is deep, and the seafloor terrain is uneven enough to hide a ship this size entirely. So the search isn't just for a wreck, it's for 306 names that still don't have a confirmed ending. As for Captain Worley, no evidence ever confirmed sabotage, disloyalty, or wrongdoing. The suspicion around him remains exactly that: suspicion, never proof. That's the uncomfortable truth at the center of this case. Every theory is plausible, none of them are proven. And in over 100 years, no new evidence has changed that. The Navy's own final report called it, in their words, one of the most baffling mysteries in the annals of the Navy. And that classification has never changed since. Most disappearances eventually get an answer. This one, deliberately, still doesn't. And maybe that's the more honest ending. Not a solved case, but a fully mapped unknown, with every theory tested and none surviving scrutiny. You now understand this case in more detail than most people ever will, right down to why every explanation eventually fails. That's rare for a mystery this old. Most fade into vague legend. This one stayed precise and still unresolved. So here's the real question this case leaves you with: storm, structural failure, or something else entirely? Tell me which theory you believe in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.